Welcome to another SpeedPaint. This time it's Squirrel, double S Squirrel. It's basically my idea for a mob in Don't Starve Together, which would be in caves. Caves have tendency of being really boring and uninteresting, so putting another mob in there would be really nice to see. This mob isn't really an idea I came out with recently, cause first version of this mob goes back to 2024 and it was a part of my flipped forest drawing, which was an idea for a caves biome. Maybe someday I will redraw that forest in a more clay-like style like I did with the squirrel, but out of all of that drawing, I think the hybrid of a snake and squirrel was the coolest part about it. When I was drawing the head, I looked like quite a lot of squirrel images, and it felt so weird. Like, I usually just don't draw animals. I'm not really good at drawing those, and I think drawing it in a more clay-like style was easier for me than I would draw in my casuals. It was much easier than it would be in my casual style, which is much softer shaded with no line art. I think my least favorite part to do about the drawing was drawing all those scales. My god, it was so tedious. Drawing those felt like ages. My eyes were misbehaving when I was drawing those, and when I finished those scales on his body, I felt like I was almost done with the drawing, but there was also background coming then. The background is basically how a carpet would look like. It's not really fleshed out idea for the carpet, because if I, let's say, work at Clay Entertainment and was making the carpet, it would look differently to make it more vanilla friendly. Overall, I really like that the drawing feels like a entry from Maxwell's journal when he was making creatures and writing down how they work, how they behave, what they're used for. And in the description of this animal, I wanted to add, after the part about venom causing hallucination, that Maxwell was using it to drag himself with it. I think it would be pretty funny to see Maxwell taking drugs to make him feel better. And also I tried to use more desaturated colors. This is basically how I see clay art style, and it's what makes me excited for Elsewhere, because Elsewhere is more desaturated like Don't Starve used to be. It's even more desaturated than Don't Starve ever was. I really like that. I like desaturated colors, those are beautiful. Especially now when a lot of things in media is so bright and sparkly. Well, I mean mainly Don't Starve games tend to have desaturated colors. Well, at least they used to, cause more and more newer stuff feels more vibrant. So I'm so excited for Elsewhere, which will come out, I don't know, I think next year. I think it would be. Not every clay game has those colors, like Actually Not Included has pretty vibrant colors, especially when you look how Aquatic Planet Pack looks like. It looks stunning, but it's not what I truly love. Now that I look at this drawing, I'm not sure if it would be a good idea to give Squirrel a tongue, I mean like a snake tongue with a cut at the end. Maybe it would be, maybe it won't, but it's without a tongue, cause, well, I'm at a point where I don't edit this drawing anymore. If I was editing it, then this SpeedPaint wouldn't appear until at least months later. Let me know what you think about this idea for a mob. CIA.